Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Matthew is here from M&A Forex Traders. So today I'm going to do something very interesting, as you've seen from our thumbnail, right? So we're going to look at the Asian range indicator and how to incorporate it with our trading strategy, right? This is the smart money concept, the Quasimodo strategy. So watch the rest of the video so that you actually see how we're able to incorporate this in our strategy. All right, great. So I'm sure you've come across this, but no one explains it very, very well in this on YouTube so far. I'm not seeing any good video explaining it in details, right? So what is the Asian range? So first of all, what you have to do right now is just go to your indicators on trading view right here and just type Asian range without space. So Asian range and Q zone. So it's going to appear just right here. So just click it, click the indicator right there. You're going to actually see it here. So I have it just right here. So you can turn it on and turn it on. All right. So let me just break down everything. So for example, right, you have your setup already. So let's just do this something very quick right here. So you already have, remember, we are using the Quasimodo strategy, but incorporating the Asian range, right? And how can you actually use it as a confluence to actually add to your particular trade, all right? So that you can increase the likelihood of that particular trade working out. So for example, we have our setup right here. So we would rather place drop supplies on right here. Okay, so that's something quick right here. And then we have our liquidity right there, and then the market goes into that level right there and then drops, right? So this is our level right here. So let's do some quick chart analysis right here, and labeling right there. So this is our liquidity right here. Okay, great. And then you have your setup right here, and then yeah. So if you don't know what I'm doing right now, the video just before this one explained, I went into details like going through everything. So check the video before this right there. You're going to see everything. So we have our liquidity here, we have our liquidity area here, and another one right there. And then we have our rally based drop supply zone right here. Okay, and then we have our QML right here. We have our QML there. And then we have our change of character right here, just here. Okay, so this is I'm using this as a confluence to our strategy, not as the main thing. Okay, I use this in conjunction with our strategy. So better include this now to actually have a better risk to reward ratio and also a better a higher probability of trade, right? So this is what we have right here. So you have your setup. So you have to make sure that this is in the direction of the trend, so that you continue to trade in the direction of the trend. Okay. So what you have here is that most of the time you're going to see what we're calling the Asian range. So this Asian range usually acts as liquidity. So sometimes it can be found just above here, or it can be found just somewhere around this level right there. Okay, so most of the time, so for me, I've chosen this color right here. I've chosen this color right here. So let me just do this. Yeah, for me, it usually appears like this. So what happens is that the market most of the time will actually take out either the low or the high, or both high and the low of the Asian range, and then the market usually continues in the direction of the trend. So first of all, make sure you are trading in the direction of the trend, and then when you see the Asian range, wait for price to take out either the low of the Asian range and then the high of the Asian range. And once the market does that, the market usually comes into your area of value right here, and then you can see the market going to the downside. Okay, this Asian range is printed on a daily basis. Asian range is just like the London session, the New York sessions, right? These are sessions. So usually the Asian session is the one of the sessions with low volatility. So most of the time it's used as liquidity. All right. So usually below and above this range is always liquidity above. So price has to grab that liquidity to the downside and also the ones to the upside. And then guess what? The market usually goes in the direction of the major trend. All right. So that's very, very, very important right there. So make sure that you have, if it's a buy setup, make sure you have a buy setup. If it's a sell setup like we have right here, make sure you have your QML low, high, or just a rally based drop supply zone. Then you have your Asian range right here. Wait for price to take out the low or the high of the Asian range, and then once price has done that, then you wait for your confirmation. However, one thing I've realized is that when the Asian range is closer to your zone, price usually takes out this higher high. So that kind of setup usually fails. So make sure that this Asian range is a little bit away from what? From your area of value right here. Make sure there's some good space between this Asian range and your rally based drop supply. And another thing, you're only going to actually see this Asian range when you go to the lower time frame, 30 minutes and below. If you look with the Asian range on the higher time frame, like the 4-hour time frame and the 2-hour time frame, you won't find it. So it won't be visible until you drop to the lower time frame. Always remember that I'm not saying that this works 100% of the time. No, what I'm saying is that you can use this as a confluence. What is a confluence? A confluence is just something that increases the probability of a particular trade working out. So when this is there, it just adds a confluence, but there's literally no way to tell that that particular trade is actually going to work out. Okay, it just adds confluence. It just adds some bit of confidence to your trade. All right. So this is very, very important. So you guys, I hope you've actually put this indicator on your watch list right here and on your favorite, add it as your favorite so that you can easily access it. Okay. So let me just show you some short examples, some 3 or 4 examples of this particular setup right here. So make sure, remember, have your setup. Make sure your setup is ready. If it's a sell setup, make sure you have a QML higher, you have a lower change of character, and make sure that this candle that is breaking the change of character right here, make sure that momentum candle is very, very significant. Okay, that signifies presence of smart money in the market. Okay, and then usually the price takes out either the high or the low of the Asian range into your area, and then the market drops. So we actually use the Asian range as liquidity. All right, so wait for liquidity to be grabbed either from the high or the low, and then wait for price to come to your level, and guess what? You actually execute. So let me just show you some chart examples right here of this particular trade, of what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so let's just go back to our list. So our first trade is Nasdaq right here. So let's just check out what happened on Nasdaq and everything else. Okay, so you can clearly see that we had a very, very we've been having a downtrend on Nasdaq for some time now. So right, so meaning we're only looking for what? Only looking for selling opportunities. So let's go to the lower time frame so that I show you what I'm saying right now. So what you have here is a clear rally based drop supply zone, right? This is a rally based drop supply zone. So let's go to the 15-minute time frame. You actually appreciate more what I'm saying. All right. So turn on this indicator right here. You see what's going to happen. So you can clearly see here. So we have a rally based drop supply zone, and look at that beautiful candle right there that broke structure. So we have this candle that broke structure right here. Now look at this. We had an Asian. So right here, this Asian session didn't cause a lot of movement, right? So price just continued to drop to the downside. And then what happened was we had this Asian session here. Okay, and what happened? Price took out the high of the Asian session, and then guess what price did? It went exactly to where we had our rally based drop supply zone. Look at this candle. We had a big momentum candle right here. Price directly went to this area right here, and what happened? price just dropped, and we took this trade last week. It was a beautiful trade. So there was after the 1 to 26 risk reward ratio trade. Amazing. All right, so in this particular time it worked out perfectly. So you wait, price just took out, in this case the price just took out what, the high of the Asian session, and then just came into our area here. Our area of value gave us our confirmation right there, and then guess what, the market dropped significantly. All right, so you can take a screenshot. This is very important for your reference sake. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Let's go to the next example right here. NZD card. So let's go to the higher time frame. We start from there. Okay, so you can clearly see that we've been having an uptrend for some time now, right? You can clearly see that from October we've been seeing the market going to the upside. Okay, great. So what are we looking for? We're only looking for buying opportunities. So what are we looking for right now? We're looking for significant change of character. So we've been seeing, again, when you go to the hour time frame, you're going to see this nice correction right here. Okay, so when we see this happening, therefore we want the market to continue in the direction of the major trend. So what are we looking for? We're looking for our our drop-based rally. So this is a drop-based rally, very significant, right? You can even see that we have bigger candles right there. So when we see that, we know that something is happening right there. Look at those big candles that we had here, very significant. Okay, so what do you see? What do you see right here? You see the Asian session, right? The Asian range. What happened to it? Price took out the low of the Asian session, and guess what? It came into our drop-based rally right here, and guess what? The market pushed the upside, came back to the same level, and then the market pushed about 194 pips, which was like 1 to 24 risk reward ratio. Absolutely amazing trade. All right, so you can clearly see that it's very significant. You can actually use this as a confluence, not on its own, but as something to add confluence to your particular trade, right? So this is how it is. So make sure that you have a setup already, and then look for that Asian range as a confluence to show you that the trade has a better likelihood of actually working out. So this is an example of a buy setup. I hope it's not confusing. This is a drop-based rally, and then you have this as liquidity. You know what? Guess what? Price takes out the low of this range right here, and what happens? The market actually rallies to the upside with big momentum candles until it reaches our take profit right there. Absolutely amazing. So a third example is on GBP AUD right here. So let's look at this. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute time frame. Clean. So you can see that we've been having this downtrend right here. Okay, we have this downtrend. Therefore, we're looking for selling opportunities. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute time frame, and you see what is happening. So we have a rally-based drop supply zone. Rally-based drop supply zone. Okay, and guess what price does? Price did what? It took out the low of the Asian range, and then took out even the high of the Asian range, and then the market literally just came into our rally-based drop supply zone with this bullish, this big momentum candle into our area. And guess what happens? Price dropped, pushed back to grab more liquidity, and then price dropped even further. Absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm sure it's very simple. It's actually very easy to spot. You can't really miss it when you see it. Okay, so make sure that you always use it as a confluence. It will add more confluence. Make sure don't trade before the if you find yourself there's a setup here, don't just trade. Wait for it to be taken out. Wait for the low or the high of the range to be taken out, and once that's been taken out, then you can execute your trade. All right, so that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to do it. Okay, I hope this is also I hope this is helpful. Okay, so let's see if I can give you one example right here. Let's see what's happening on this particular trade. So we just recently took this particular trade. And this is the Euro USD. We have a rally-based drop supply zone. We have liquidity at this level right here, and C. So if you go to this level right here, you're actually going to realize that I waited for price to take out this level right here. So price took out the low, You can see that price took out the low of this level right here, then put back into this area, and I took the trade, the market dropped, and then it's pushing to the upside. So most likely it's going to just come to this level right here, and then maybe we might see a drop right there. However, this trade is still running, so we'll see how it's going to go. So far, it has dropped about almost 1 hour. It had dropped over about 2 hours, about 3 hours, almost 2 hours. Right now, it's almost at 1-to-1. So this is how it is, and I use this as a confluence in taking this particular trade. I hope this is not confusing. All right, I hope this is not confusing. It's as simple as this. I know a lot of people try to complicate it, but it's as simple as that. All right, so find the trend, define where the market is going long term. Once you do that, and then look for your rally based drop supply zone, or whatever significant area you always look for. For us, it's this rally based drop supply zone. Once you find that, wait for the high or the low of the Asian range to be taken out. Sometimes it will just take out the high, sometimes it will just take out the low. And make sure that you wait for the price to come to your area. And once price does that, you wait for your confirmation and you execute, and making sure that you have a long-term mindset, you have a series of trade mindset. However, I'm not saying that when you see this automatically that trade is going to work out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can use this as a confluence. A confluence is just something that adds more probability of the setup working out. Okay, I hope that's very clear. And what you can do is do your own back testing. Test it yourself, see how it works out for you. All right, so I hope you found value in this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video. Okay, you guys, until next time, goodbye and God bless you.